He's always looking for a bit of time for people to stream in here, so we'll get some time for that. Let me pull up Matchroom Doc though. Hey Sam, welcome. So I actually counted this. So after this, we only have 6 more streams. There are only 54 more games after 64 total. So we are going to have I believe we're gonna have a total of 34 parts of pools. It could have been 33 percent for 24 games, but I ended up having a split 1 and half due to some stuff that came up. So this and 6 more in part 34 will be our final pools game stream. Obviously, it's not gonna be for a few more days at minimum. But yeah, so we are reaching the end. This is the Saturday of pools. 1 day to go. Well, obviously, this Saturday, Sunday, so we're getting toward the end here, which is very exciting. Yeah, getting towards the end. Oh, what we saying? That's awesome. Will we hit your game today? I don't remember. Let me see. Oh, wrong. Sam, you are on. Yeah, you are the second game for today's stream. You are right. You're correct. We will cover your game today. That's exciting. It was very exciting. So just, yeah, awesome. So I'm gonna give us until like 9:20, and then I'll get into the start going on games. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. I had some breakfast, and now I'm here. That's about it, really. But yeah, I counted up the games. I wanted to see how many more of these I'm gonna do. Obviously, I'm gonna do like plans and brackets stuff. I wanted to get an idea. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty chill. Yep, nothing too crazy. Just let's give a couple more minutes in case anyone else wants to join, and then we'll get going. Yep. Well, I had to get like a starting soon thing, but I do not care enough to make one. I'll be honest, that's about it. I just don't care enough to make one. Yep. Okay, let's give it 2 more minutes, then we'll get going. Well, I guess I also, in terms of Mon stuff, I built in Genda Team for like a Wi-Fi week today, so that's another thing I did. But yeah, well, I built it last night, and we did the last 2 months this morning. Anyway, I don't think any of you really care about that. Okay, let's get started. Maybe switch back to that screen. Okay, let's get into it. So, first matchup of the day, we have G-Char versus Yisus. I know that's not how you pronounce this name, but that's what their Discord tag is, so we're gonna go with it. And they said that's fine for me to do. So, G-Char versus Yisus. We see a Heatran mirror here. So, let's see. Both sides of decent Heatran checks. Like Tegel and Mawile are both pretty good. Gyara's also okay. You just don't want to get burned, obviously. I am noticing Yisu does not have a ground type. However, Electabuzz is not like the worst Raikou check in the world. Like he is immune to electric and hate pretty hard with Earthquake, so that's not the end of the world. Flygon looks okay here. U-turn hits Celebi really hard. Earthquake average is pretty spammable. Average especially. Honestly, I think I don't even know if you need Scarf Flygon. Like you can run Scarf Flygon if you're really scared of Gyarados, which to be fair, it's a Gyarados, you probably should be. But Bandit Flygon looks really good here, just like spam outrage. Or even like, no, I don't think Drake is going to. You probably need to beat outrage. Like, Bandit or Life Orb outrage is really strong here. Gyarados is obviously pretty solid, but my Milotic does stuff it pretty well. Well, yeah, Heatran's a very good Heatran check, of course. But, like, when you both know each other as a Heatran, it's going to be a lot of mind games there on how, if you want to check each other's Heatran with the Heatran, or force your own progress with your own Heatran. That's the science of all time. Yeah, I think I'm going to lean G-Char here, but I think this is a pretty even matchup. Also, Gengar looks pretty good, I guess. HP Ground hits the Heatran Shovel's pretty good. But I still think I'm going to win G-Char here. Let's get into it. Raikou into Celebi. Out comes Electivire. I presume it's just going to Calm Mind. Yep. HP Ground. Good prep. Earthquake's going to come out. Ace Chakas. And now it's a Electivire's also in range of another one. Raikou is going to fire up the Signal Beam. Good mid-ground to cover the potential Celebi. In comes Heatran. Where's the HP Ground? Is Shuckle Berry and should whip. Yeah, Heatran people. Is Earth Power? Earth Power's not gonna knock out for 52. I was about to say I'm not sure if that knocks out. Yeah, Evire. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, yeah. HP Ground is good in Jero here. Exactly. Anyway, Surf is going to knock that out, but this Raikou just took out almost 3 whole pawns on its own off lead. Very big. Mesprit coming on the Ice Beam, forced that out. It's also Calm Mind. Okay. It's Calm Mind U-turn. Interesting. I guess it forces into Celebi. There's a big crit, though, obviously, getting out the 73. That's huge. Honestly, I think Raikou's usually pretty bulky in draft, in my experience. You don't usually need that much special attack. Anyway, Final's going to knock out the Terra Cove U-turn. The Mighty did show up. It's going to come and take only 28 from Shadow Ball. It's going to get burned. Basically, Crunch doing 66. It's still really good damage. He's going to switch, not Fairy Pursuit. Another Crunch could come off, do, a crit. So that's decent damage to Primeape because of the crit there. Switch out to Mesprit. Yeah, it's a pretty free U-turn from the Primeape side, of course. Citrus Berry Mesprit, so that's going to get pretty healthy again. And Gengar is back in. Back to my Niantic. It does live this hit. Will live a hit burn. Is it packing the Sucker Punch? It is, but Yisu is going to respect that, so Maya will go down. Maya has done a lot of work for one point of this tournament. It's probably going up to 2 or 3 next year. If I just quick average, Celebi will go down. In comes Gengar, is Scarf. And that's the end of the game. Yeah, I'll have to beat Scarf from it. So yeah, like, I mean, Scarf, we knew Outrage Flying was insane here, right? Like, the Dragon Resist is a Heatran, and that's not that hard to beat down with this team. Raikou off lead, doing a ton of work. I like the bulky set, makes sense. I mean, Thunderbolt HP Ground, Signal Beam is really good. Yeah, I mean, there was not much that could really be done about this Raikou, I'll be honest. Raikou just had an insane matchup here. Yeah, but everyone on G-Char didn't even reveal his last 2 Pokemon. So, very good win. Okay. For game 2, we do have... Yeah, Flygon's quite good. It's worth like 15 for a reason. And now we do have Sam, who is in chat, versus Rathmon. Sam, where did I get messaged? Oh, down here. One second, so I'm responding to someone. Okay, so I was helping someone get like a league set up, and like it's a more casual league, and their friends keep wanting to allow Jirachi and Manaphy, and like is what it is. I just told them like it's not gonna be unplayable, but it's not gonna be fun. Anyway, so we have Sam and Rathmon here. So looking at this matchup, let's take a look here. Raikou was actually kind of checked well for once. We have Double Ground, Magnezone, Roserade. So Raikou's gonna have a lot of trouble making progress in this game, but it probably still comes. Because Pinsir and Wigglytuff are not great Pokemon. Pinsir's like not the worst here, but it's not amazing. I guess like Mold Breaker, Earthquake, or a band could be okay, just like breaking down the team. 85 is not bad speed tier here, but I don't know. Other than that, I don't see it doing much. I can see Mia Scarf Cell like X Scissor. There's also resist Earthquake, so if I unlocks an Earthquake, yeah, I could see that, but not sure. On Sam's side, we do see a pre-friending Starmie. The one issue is Shaman kind of stuffs it if it's not like specifically Specs or Life Orb Ice Beam. So that's the one thing. Flygon looks pretty solid. We see another team with a it was a decent matchup, yeah. See, another team with Dragon Resist Heatran to Flygon. Obviously, Flygon looks very strong here. But Shaman and Quato are decent checks to it. They just have to stay out of outrage range, which is easier said than done, of course. Sam Spikes, I don't very be the easiest to keep up. Like, Quato doesn't spin amazingly on Drifblim, but Drifblim, I don't know how much I love Drifblim's matchup here. I think it's actually, no, it's fine. It's like Shaman and stuff. So he has entry points. Yeah, I think I'm going to lean Sam here. I think the matchup slightly favors him, but honestly, both sides are pretty decent pieces here. The Gyarados looks very strong into, like, Starmie, Roserade, not the bulkiest water resist, of course. Okay, let's get into that. I'm going to lean Sam here. Let's go into it. We see Pinsir Weed into Starmie. Okay, is Mold Breaker makes sense. Don't remember what its other ability is, and it's just like Hypercar or something. You don't believe in Spikes? Then why did you draft Roserade? Thunderfangs could come out on the Pinsir, predicting Gyarados come in. See, Gyarados coming in, I was fighting, let's get a U-turn here. Back into Starmie, forced out into Shaman. Thunderbolt going to do only 8. That's a very fat Shaman, not a very offensive Starmie. Switched out into Roserade. Seafoot's going to come off, only do 12. That drop, but it's still very special defensive, so probably forced out the Shaman here. Alright, it's going to sleep out. Okay, so it's a slower Shaman, good to know. Him Power, Ground, only doing 6. Well, and Shaman can just stay in here, yeah. I mean, now you've real Sludge Bomb, now you're doing good damage, but like, yeah. And now Shaman's going to be forced to switch out, obviously. Because you need to preserve this. In comes the Heatran. You do force out the Roserade there. A Fire Blast. Doing good damage to Fire. Doing a fair U-turn. Rathbomb playing really aggressively, staying in with stuff. Well, yeah, I would expect to switch there too. He's playing very aggressively here. HP Ice on Heatran. So that presumably, Heatran staying in on Flygon clicking HP Ice is pretty indicative that it's a Shuckle Berry set. So that's something good to know. Raikou going to come out on Roserade here. But it's... Oh, Sleep Power's going to miss. Okay, the Raikou is not going to go to sleep. Hidden Power is going to get a crit and knock out the Roserade, presumably Ice. Ooh, that's unfortunate. In comes the Swampert. As Raikou's going to Magnet Rise, but Swampert's just quick Ice Beam doing 29. Or supposed to come out. That's not going to do too much. You only 38. And Hydro Pump will knock out the Raikou here. Shaman comes in. Pretty safe here. No more Roserade switch in. Archive's going to come in. We are going to Seed Flare, do 25. Get her drop, but Archive's probably faster because you know it's a Sword Shaman, yeah. In comes the Gyarados. Archive's going to Morning Sun. Okay, so it's back up to 91, but we know Archive's Life Orb, so it's forced out here. Gyarados is good Dragon Dance. He's got Earthquake doing good damage to Starmie, but obviously not going to knock out. Thunderbolt is going to hit into a Comberry and not KO. We do see Swampert come in as Gyarados Earthquakes, takes it out. Arcanine comes in. Obviously, Gyarados in E-Speed range now. Raph is going to preserve it. It's in range of Rocks, but I guess you all preserve the sack. That's fair. Yeah, I guess you don't really need to sack it anyway. Because also, if Flygon's choice, if you all be yeah. Quail's going to spin away the Rocks. Flygon's going to U-turn out on the Quail, doing 32 here. In comes Starmie as it gets Toxic. Okay, so we'll force Starmie out eventually. And Shaman comes back in. Starmie's got Ice Beam. But he's taking a lot of chip here. Got Ice Beam again. Shaman's gonna Synthesis, so yeah, this Shaman always wins this. Wins this 1v1. Starmie's gonna switch Curious Toxic into Arcanine. As Shaman Earth Power is calling out, getting a clean 55% off. Get up the Intimidate with Gyarados and stack it up, makes sense. But actually, let's go into Heatran with Thunderfang's not going to do much, yeah. Rathmon kind of playing this really well. Earth Power's going to come out, but Flygon's going to be a switch-in. Is Shuckle Berry, will it live? It will not, so it wasn't in range of it. Quail comes in. We know Flygon's choice. Quail can just get up Rocks. Yep. Starmie is staying. Starmie's going to spin, but Quail can just knock it out, right? Yeah, Earthquake. Sam is going to bring back in the Flygon. Out comes the Gyarados. Might as well Intimidate it. Fucking Outrage here, yeah. Pinsir's going to come in. Only take 42. X's are knocking out the Flygon here. Arcanine does come in. Arcanine's very scared at this juncture. In comes Claydol. Flipper's going to do 62 of that Life Orb, but that recoil is going to add up a bit. Get extreme speed, taking out Claydol. I don't get that play. You're faster anyway. And you're taking, it's only 10. You're not going to take much chip. Fuebus get knocked out the Shaman. Last mon Pinsir. What's Sam's last Pokemon? It's Magnezone. Okay, Pinsir can just like Earthquake here. And knock it out. So that's going to be a win for Rathmon. So yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy. Magmarize is always cool on a record. I think you missed the last turn. You were in Duracast App. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, I think Rathmon just kind of outplayed you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he just kind of reading you pretty much the entire game here. Like, that's not mean to be mean. He just kind of like had your number. He really was kind of getting every play right. But yeah, pretty good game on both sides, I'd say. Let's move on to the next one. On to game 3. Okay, if people can stop paying me while I'm streaming and I have to check in case it's something in DDT, it's really annoying. Where is it in here? Where was it? One second. Who did I get pinged? Who the fuck pinged me? Oh, up here. Sorry, I was responding to Scraff about Dockman. Anyway, back to, so we have Hamudi versus Starmie. I don't remember records of these players. I'm not even gonna try and remember. Like, this is like almost the 30th stream. I'm losing track of who's played which games. I'm just gonna stop trying to do that. Anyway, looking at the matchup though. Let's see. Verdict looking pretty hard to switch into on Starmie's side. However, it's not that hard to revenge with Starmie and Aerodactyl, but it definitely can, like, come in quick lines. I think a Specs in Verdict specifically is very strong here. Just, like, spamming Fire Blast or Overheat. Just, like, force something in, get a ton of chip on Starmie. Obviously, Starmie can recover, and you don't have great ways to pressure Starmie, actually. No, so, like, defensive Starmie looks really good here on a Starmie side. Very funny sentence. Like, not much really pressure, so even, like, Dusknoir doesn't do that much with Shallow Punch. Obviously, because it's, like, a Shallow Punch. What's there? Gyarados also looks okay here. Like, Venusaur is an okay check. Starmie's an okay check. Scarf Mana Trick is decent. Scarf Mana Trick actually was really good here. I'm looking at it. It's like Electric's pretty spam once it's team outside the Gliscor. You do have to watch out for Sandville, and Hamudi's Gliscor, of course, could always cheese you. But yeah, I think, honestly, I think I'm gonna, this is tough. I think I'm gonna call this one even. I think I'm gonna call this one pretty even. Let's get into it. Hamudi on the left, Starmie, aka Manat on the right. Ultra read into Starmie. Out comes the Venusaur, gets paralyzed on turn 1. That's really unfortunate. Hidden Power as Sludge Bomb's gonna come off doing 99. It's gonna crit. It doesn't really matter. Should have 2 again. But anyway, now I'm switching out into Infernape as Hidden Power comes out from the Venusaur HP. HP Ice, I presume, or maybe HP. Actually, probably HP Fire Fortress. Anyway, Infernape's gonna come in, not take anything from it. Fuebus gonna knock out the Venusaur. Aerodactyl's going to come in as Fortress is a switch. Misses the Stone Edge. Into Hippowdon as Fortress presumably gets to have a hazard or toxic the Hippo. Fair enough. That works too. Making some progress here. Hippo's going to Rocks and Fortress is going to pay back for a minuscule 15%. Fire Fang's going to come out and do a ton of damage to this Fortress. Is going to get off a spin though. And Hippowdon's getting low here. Gliscor comes in. Hippowdon's going to get the Rocks back up, but it's very low now. Swords Dance's Pound just gonna slack off. No, it's got Ice Fang. Okay, wow. Siachi Berry bites a crit. That's and a freeze. Oh wow, that's really unfortunate for Hamudi there. Holy shit. That's really bad. I mean, I guess the Starmie was revenged it, but still, that's really unfortunate. I mean, could preserve it at least. Electro's gonna come in, die to the Rocks. I don't understand that. I think he just forgot he died to Rocks. Fair enough. I mean, not fair enough. It's also not a good play, but like whatever. Anyway, we're going to miss the Hydro Pump with Starmie. Hit the second one, take out Fortress. Take some Toxic, take some Sand, in comes Cresselia. Starmie's going to switch out into Absol. Okay, Absol makes a lot of sense here for Crest. Ice Beam doing 35. Absol was pretty frail, but he's going to take that. Into Gyarados. Get the Intimidate off. Absol's just going to Night Slash, getting off 34%. Switching out to Starmie as the Gyarados to get Earthquake. Gyarados will be forced out with the Freya Thunderbolt, double into Skarmory. On the crest, fair enough. That's a solid play. Okay, we see Skarmory's gonna click its own curse. Wow, so it's a set of Skarmory. But he's gonna get paralyzed by Cresselia for sure. But actually, how does he break like +1 defense Skarmory now? I don't know. Well, 1+2, yeah. I really think Infernape should have been special in this game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not because of the Skarmory set. I just think in general until like Hippo Skarmory shows some special Infernape. And the fact his physical is really hurting Hamudi right now. Crest just gonna pelt this, but like he's paralyzed. You can't even like toxic or freeze it, yeah. In comes Infernape. Skarmory's gonna get paralyzed, but yeah, I mean, Flare Blitz, I don't think it'll kill him at +2. Right? Thunder Punch, why? He's never switching into the Starmie. Starmie's almost dead. Flare Blitz, I don't know. Akaber, I'm very confused here, but Aerial Ace, wait. Oh my god, it's Aerial Ace over Dropek because Sandvale's legal. Yeah, that makes sense. It's stupid, but it makes sense. Yeah, Sandvale is a thing you have to account for if your opponent's a Gliscor and you have a Hippo. So Aerial Ace over Dropek is very funny, though. In comes the Gyarados. It's going to take that chip. It's going to get healed up before the sand goes in, though. But, like, you can't beat this Skarmory ever. Switching out the Aerodactyl, though, I guess not wanting to risk, like, Parrot. Not wanting to risk Parrot, that's fair. And now here's a Scarf Stonage, I presume. No, it's just going to DD again, but... it must be Sash Arrow, then, but Stonage going to take out the Gyarados. And it's going to be a win for Starmie. I mean, very, very dominant win. You just played this really well. The prep was fine. Curse Skarm was really cool. I honestly didn't realize Skarm got in this gen. I thought that was like a Gen 2 move it got back in like Gen 7 or something, but I guess it does get in this gen. Good to know. Double Fang Hippo was cool. I mean, sacking the Trode to rocks for no reason kind of rough. And then also like just, I don't understand physical Infernape here. I get there's a Starmie, but just so much like fucking Grass Knight still gives good chip. Like, physical is special Infernape is so fucking crazy into this team. Like, are you kidding me? There's nothing that switches into it at all. Nothing even really wants to take it on. Like, nothing even really survives a 2-hit kill. Like, you just have to force it out with Starmie or Arrow, and then you have like really good checks to those in Fortress and Crest or in Dust Orange and just come back in. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, very dominant win by Starmie, but I definitely think Hamudi's prep was not up to snuff for this kind of game. Okay, let's get into our next one. Game 4. Okay, here we have Wombat Baby on the left versus Nidaria on the right. Okay. Well, Infernape is decent here, but there are good checks to its stabs, of course. However, like, just a Scarf is really good. Like, Scarf outspeed's always... You don't even need a Scarf. So, like, Espeon's the only thing that outspeeds Infernape, and Espeon can't do jack shit to, like, Uxie, Chansey, and Empoleon. Espeon's matchup kind of sucks here, but he probably has to come because of Infernape alone, which also puts Nidaria in kind of a tough spot. I guess they just bring their top 6, even though Honchkrox looks really good here, so you could drop something for that, but I don't know what you drop. Like, maybe Espeon, but Espeon is obviously real important to check Infernape. If Espeon's anything, it's probably Trick Scarf, so you can have the Scarf for Flygon and Infernape and Trick like onto Uxie or Empoleon if need be. Infernape was pretty... I don't know if I'd say Infernape's sweep necessarily. There is, like, Blastoise and Espeon, which can both respond to it. Especially if Blastoise is packing Aqua Jet. But Infernape does look amazing here. There's no way around that. The Rotom on the Darius actually was really annoying for Wombat, though. He might have to bring the Chansey to deal with that, but Chansey is kind of abusable by Pokemon such as Breloom. Actually, it's very abusable by Pokemon such as Breloom and Snorlax. And Breloom actually looks very, very strong here. Like, nothing wants to come out Spore at all. It can start Leech Seeding and stuff, and, like, it's just pretty solid here and very annoying. But also the Mach Punch could be useful for stuff like Infernape or Flygon for an offensive Empoleon, especially for Sceptile. Sceptile really hard, but Sceptile's pretty frail. Yeah, I mean, outside the Infernape, I think Nidaria has a lot going for them. I think I'm going to win Nidaria if they can just keep the Infernape in check. Let's get into it. Wombat left, Nidaria on the right. Honchkrow lead into Infernape. Okay, so Infernape just leads. Switches out to Scout the Scarf. And, oh my god, a crit Braver on turn 1 does over 2/3 to the yeah, Jesus, I know, right? But he's going to survive. Not only he gets up rocks, but yeah, I mean, that crit was huge. Obviously, a crit took out Empoleon pretty much immediately. All it did was get rocks up. In comes Uxie, switching out to Lax. Gonna take some rocks. Uxie's gonna Thunder Wave here. So Snorlax is now paralyzed at least. Switch out to Flygon. Snorlax gonna quick substitute. Oh wow, interesting. We don't see substitute Snorlax very frequently. It is almost definitely there to try and abuse the Chansey. Anyway, you turn out into Uxie. It's gonna get paralyzed here. U-turn again. 2 U-turns not going to break the subs. It's a very physically defensive Snorlax. It's get paralyzed again. This is a sequence of all time. U-turn again. Back into Uxie. Snorlax, oh my god, 3 powers in a row. That's rough. That's really rough. And you just get a tricky choice scarf as it gets up Bison. Yeah. 3 powers in a row is unfortunate. I swear to God, this is like the first time we haven't seen Bison first try power all tournament. Anyway, in comes Haunter as Snorlax is going by. So I was just forced out because it's locked into it. And in comes Skarmory. We got 5 a Sludge Bomb here. And we got Drill Peck. Okay. And Shadow will take it out. Yep, and then, sorry, I'm discarding this game. A lot of things I just want to do. Hey, baby. Espeon's going to Shadow Ball into Uxie. Doing good chip here, so it is a Life Orb. Kind of surprised Espeon isn't Scarf. I really thought Scarf Espeon was very good here. Sepnos Gatsby and Energy Ball it. Okay, that's pretty good. Honchkrow comes in. We know it's Scarf, so out comes the Uxie as the sack. Yep. Honchkrow is doing work this game. He's getting low, and yeah. Oh my god, what the fuck? Another crit. No, that's so unfortunate. Holy shit. Honchkrow with all the... I mean, it does have super luck, but my god, that is so unfortunate. Super luck just doing so much work here. In comes Sceptile. Let's just get crunched. Okay. So I was forced to lock into crunch. And this basically is free Infernape entry. Infernape obviously is very, very strong in this endgame. Gets a defense drop. It doesn't really matter. Just go close combat. Take out the Snorlax here. What revenge is this Infernape anymore? It's Life Orb 2. Rotom's down 75. I mean, probably... if it's Fire Blast is a ton, is going to knock it out with whatever moves like Shadow Ball. But can Sceptile or Haunter clean up here? Maybe. We don't know Nidara's last Pokemon, of course. Haunter's going to Shadow Ball, taking out the Rotom. Blastoise' last Pokemon. I don't think Blastoise can hold it off. Thunderbolt, that's a crit. I mean, well, okay, deserve that one, but yep. Yeah, waiting for Wombat. I mean, obviously the triple flute power on Snorlax was rough because then you were able to trick it, but once the sub was gone, BLI's Yellow Magic for you. Nothing feels too crazy. Scarf Honchkrow is pretty cool. I like that a lot. Obviously, getting the crit on Polion early allowed it to really break open the team. Yeah, very nice, very solid prep on both sides. Doesn't look too crazy, but I think the prep was pretty solid. So yeah, win for Wombat. Okay, on to game 5. Okay, we have Hamudi is up again versus Rafmon. So Hamudi lost their previous game and Rafmon won his. So Hamudi obviously looking to save their life in the tournament, and Rafmon looking to make it onto brackets. So another game from the same pool. So let's see here. We usually see 2 Gyarados again, which I think we saw 2 Gyarados earlier. Both sets of pretty decent checks. Albeit, Rafmon's looking at Widowbearer, but like Crest isn't a bad one at all. Like, it's not great. Risk game flinch down, but like, it can do the job. As can Fortress if like you really need it to. It doesn't like to, but you can run like HP Electric. Other than that, let's see. Heatran on Rafmon's side looks pretty good. Hard to switch into at least. Yes, it could maybe give Gyarados a free turn, but you have answers to that. Raikou is quite solid. Obviously, the only electric resist really is Gliscor, and HPS does a ton of damage to that, even for Yachi. Infernape looking pretty solid as always, but Claydol Gyarados are not the worst checks to it. Not at all. It really has trouble locking into a move if it runs choice, because Heatran obviously comes down fire. And if it locks into a fire move, you can just pivot Heatran after. And if you get a Flash Fire boost, I mean, nothing switches in. Even without a Flash Fire boost, like, Heatran's just very friendly to this team. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing I see. I think Rafmon has the advantage here. I think just his Raikou's really good. Shaman also looks crazy here. I mean, what's the Fortress Gate take HP Fire? Everything else gets potentially dropped. Like, yeah, Shaman looks really good. I think I'm going to win Rafmon here. Yeah, let's I'm going to win Rafmon. Let's get into the game. So, Rafmon fighting for brackets. Hamudi looking to stay alive. We see an Infernape bleeding into Claydol. Just go close combat on turn 1, doing only Tway free to Claydol. Okay. Claydol's going to heal a bit of that off of leftovers. It's going to U-turn, revealing it's not choiced. Okay. Getting off bid ship. The Gyarados going to come in, presumably on Roxia. Good play by Hamudi. Good. Dryness is the Claydol's going to boom here. It is. Only does 75 with the drop, though, so Gyarados is still alive. Pinsir's going to come in. Yep, it's another Scarf Pinsir. We have, I swear to God, every person who has drafted Pinsir's just brought, like, Scarf every game, which is fair. I mean, it's a good Scarf. Like, 85 is a good speed tier, and 125 attack's not bad. Anyway, in comes the fucking Slacking return. I'll be honest, I did not think the Slacking was coming. Like, I get it, but I don't like it over the top 6. I feel like the top 6 were a lot better than Slacking here. Anyway, into Gliscor, as he turns to go quick. Fire Blast can come out to 83. That's very offensive. And the burn. Oof, that's going to take out the Gliscor, that's unfortunate. Big burn. That's yep. Pinsir coming out in close combat. Very aggressive switch by Rathmon, but he doesn't have great close combat switches now with the Quake all down. Let's get a quick Crest can come in. As it just calls that and clicks X scissor, but only just 41. Crest is really fucking fat, folks. X scissor again is gonna do 41 again. What's Crest gonna do? He's gonna paralyze the Pinsir. Pinsir's pretty much useless now because it was scarfed. Psychic's gonna do 45. But it's still gonna take out the Crest. Crest just doesn't do enough damage with Psychic. Even Pinsir's abysmal special defense. Crest just so weak offensively. Gyarados comes in. What's very quick? He's just got Flare Blitz. That's only good. Yes, only 24. Gyarados is in an amazing position now. Electrode comes in, but in this generation, Electrode does not outspeed Gyarados at +1. Anyway, double into Raikou. Raikou, we see the Slaking come in. It's good. Double into Shaman while Rathmon really doubling here. And he's Protect, so this Slaking now is nothing. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Slaking literally cannot play the game now. Toxic on the Electrode. Him Power, probably Ice. Yeah, probably Ice. Does like virtually nothing to Shaman. Shaman's going to stay healthy. Yep. This is pretty much wrapped up here. Inverness going to come in. Shaman's going to Synth, but like you just go Gyarados. or Shaman survives, okay. I guess it doesn't really matter. As long as Shaman survives, it should beat Electrode, and it should beat Slaking, so I get that. Protect, as Inverness going to try and U-turn. Now Inverness just dies to Rocks, so... Into Pinsir, that's obviously your sack is paralyzed. Florbo's good trade, but yeah, Shaman just wins here. Yo, I really think even we had guying up Rocks with like Gliscor or something, that might have made a difference because HP is going to do 31. Shaman's going to live. It's going to Synth, and yes, this Electro Switch is going to die Toxic, and Slaking can't hit it. This game is over. Even like a crit 8 hitting power, Thunder Wave, but it doesn't really matter yet. You just switch, you sack something, and honestly, Infantry just go with Fire Blast. I feel like you could have just gone Shaman and just protected, and it's yep. This is the Slaking experience, and the funny part is I don't think this Shaman brought Protect for Slaking at all. I don't think he even factored in Slaking when he brought Protect. I'm pretty sure it just came because Leech Seed Toxic. It's like, well, I mean, it just happened to work and ruin the Slaking. This problem with Slaking, like, Protect's just a good move in gens like 3 through 5. It's just genuinely a good move to click a lot of the time. Getting lefties, getting chip damage on stuff. So, like, that's the problem with Slaking is, like, your opponent doesn't even have to prep for it. They just happen to have Protect on something. It's like, well, shit, they double into Protect line, so, well, fuck, I can't do anything. It's a good move, even if you don't get your... Like, Slaking does really good damage for, like, wait, is it, like, 3 points? I mean, what's the Slaking? Let me see. Yes. Did anyone draft it? Slaking is 3 points, yeah. Like, it does good damage, but it's really hard to make it work. Like, you really have to be... You have to be a team that can really pressure your opponent, and this team obviously can't, really, with stuff like Crest. Obviously, the burn on Gliscor was big, prevented from potentially getting up Rocks, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, other than that, relatively clean game. Rathmon's been playing really well in both of these. I've been really impressed by him so far. Unfortunately, I will knock Hamudi out of the tournament. But yeah, that also means Rathmon's moving on to brackets. Let's go on to next game. Game 6. We do have here E-Man versus Awan. So we do see a Scizor meter. Interesting. All right. Both sides are pretty decent Scizor checks. However, the more important thing is to see what can it U-turn into. And on Awan's side, that Rotom is really fucking scary. You U-turn into that Rotom, it just clicks a button, and you do not have a great response to it. We've seen our Slaking, by the way. I'm noticing that now. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Rotom in particular looks really good here. Scizor into Rotom especially. Dragonite on E-Man's side is looking very strong. Like, there's dual steals, but like they both just fall over to Fire Punch. Extreme Speed also kind of smokes Weavile unless it's running Chill on Berry, which it could be, but I don't know if you can fade here. But Chill on Berry Weavile would be kind of heads up because it lets you tank a +1 E-Speed from D9 after Rocks if you're running some investment, and then you KO Vice Shard. So fair enough. But Rotom plus Scizor's a really strong combination here. What else is there? Jolteon looks solid. Obviously, you have the Swampert, HP Grass, U-Shovel, the Rotom's pretty decent. I think I'm going to win E-Man, but I do think Awan does have tools here to win this game. I don't think it's unwinnable. I think E-Man does have a pretty solid advantage here. Let's get into it. Uxie into Weavile. Weavile just a Night Slash on turn 1, doing 81. Uxie is going to Thunder Wave it, though. And this Weavile is now really hurt because it's not one. Yep. You try out, get some chip into Hariyama. It's going to do... I mean, it doesn't really matter what it does. Hariyama's going to take anything. Close combat is the Rotom can say. It reveals to be Rotom Heat. Interesting. So you want to take the Scizor Fav. Crit Shallow Ball. Well, that was a crit. That means this Hariyama like super split F. Payback's only do 50. Anyway, Fortress comes in as the Jolteon joins because you put Tom Pass here into Blastoise. As Fortress gets up a spike, okay? Rotom comes in, but Blastoise, Blastoise definitely 2 kills with Surf, but it's going to be forced out, obviously. In comes the Grumpig on the Scizor. Okay, Scizor, good play from E-Man there. Scizor into Scizor, just a U-turn for 25. That's good chip. I think that means that each way for Scizor is a pretty offensive. HP Fire Blastoise, wow, yeah. Also, the Grumpig going. What the fuck did he drop for the Grumpig out? Grumpig doesn't even seem that good here. Like, I guess for Hariyama, he dropped either Typhlosion or Hitmontop realistically, or I guess Swampert, but I'm pretty sure Swampert's here because you kind of need it. Dropped one Typhlosion, Hitmontop, or Swampert. Okay, I kind of get it. None of those are great. I think maybe you keep Hitmontop. We'll see what lasts in the back, obviously. Thunder Wave from Grumpig into the Blastoise is gonna get Toxic. Okay, solid. Fans overall a good turn for each wave for. And it's Riding Refresh anyway. Yeah, it's a very good. Grumpig is a good Calm Mind, though. He's going to come out. Only take 12 from +1 Psychic. That is so sad. Grumpig's so shit. It does 12 with +1. Heating Power. Heating Power Fire doesn't even not. Oh my god, this Pokemon is so bad. And you just going to get rocks. And it's going to try and Thunder Wave. And Grumpig's going to kill it. But like, this Grumpig took so much chip. And rocks got up. Like, what? You took out. It took 3 turns. It took 3 turns. Like, let's recap. It took 3 turns for a +1 Grumpig to KO a 25% Uxie. Like, what? How? Anyway, U-turn's gonna take out Grumpig. 3 turns for this thing to KO a Uxie at 25. That's so sad. Anyway, Weavile's gonna come in. Out to Blastoise, obviously, like, reason to risk it. Ice Shard, only gonna do 11. Swampert comes in as Blastoise gonna Surf here, okay? Obviously, you don't want the rest of the Rotom coming in. Rotom checks aren't the best. Toxic as Swampert's gonna get up his rock. So now the spin is pretty important. But that's what you used to go Dragonite. Wow. On the double with the Fortress, good play. And it's special, makes sense, or mixed at least. Fire Blast for the Fortress, yeah, it does do a lot more than Fire Punch. In comes the Weavile. This thing's definitely an E-Speed range, right? Sure. Oh, he might not be packing E-Speed then. Which is, I can see that. Anyway, I start to sway into Scizor. This got like banded, right? This is so much damage. U-turn knocks out Weavile. We don't need to spin if we want the Scizor to do anything else in the rest of the game, though. Jolteon comes in comes Swampert. Baton Pass. Okay, scouting for the potential HP Grass, potential window makes sense. Earthquake's gonna come out. In comes the Dragonite. It is special. It's just gonna fire off a Draco Meteor, take out the Swampert. This game's looking pretty rough for Awan at this late juncture. It's gonna Roost, but Dragonite's obviously gonna fire off a fire. Oh, it's gonna miss the Fire Blast. That's unfortunate. Bullet Punch go to 37. The next one will hit and with the Akka. Just 56. Even oh god, 56 with Akka minus 2, but he gets a burn and that's game over. That's game over. Scizor burn does just end the game. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we have HP Fire and Blasters, but it does just like end the game there. Rotom's down at 18. Let's go rest. Okay, I mean, I don't think he can do it, but serve. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna. He has to go for it, but eventually, it's not gonna win this. Yeah. And now it's in Torrent range, so it's not. Oh my god, how many? This dude. I mean, maybe you could have diving didn't pull rest like 7 out of 8. Let me see. How many times did he pull rest? Sleep talk. 1. He pulled rest 50% of the time. That's unfortunate. But yeah. Good one for each wave 4. He just like played this really well. I mean, this is very well played, very well prepped, honestly. I really like the refresh on Blastoise here. It makes a lot of sense in this matchup. Special D-Knight's great here. Solid prep from all one too, I'd say. I don't know what the fuck the Grumpig was doing here though. It's so bad in this matchup. Like, I don't get it, but it was here. I feel like you would have rather had like any of your other Pokemon. I feel like you would have rather had Mountain Top or Typhlosion. I think Typhlosion actually could have maybe done something in this game. But it is what it is. Win for E24. I believe E24 is guaranteed brackets now if he wasn't already. Hey, Game 7, we have Gold Mason versus Friedel for Wii U. 2 quite solid players here. Okay, so looking at this matchup, we see, let's see here. Hype moments and Aura Farm. That's a fair point, but it didn't real. I would argue the Grumpig was the least hype part of that game because it took 3 turns to kill a 25% Uxie after a Calm Mind boost. Like, that was not hype. That was just like depressing. Like, the Grumpig didn't hype me. I was just like, oh my god, why is this thing so terrible? Anyway, looking at the matchup here. Not much is really sticking out to me right at first, honestly. Like, Zapdos looks pretty solid, but you have Raikou and, like, Crest and stuff, and Heatran. Zam looks okay, but, like, it's not the best because it's Scarf Flygon. Raikou looks solid, but there's stuff like Celebi, Rhyperior, which obviously can kind of help, and then Bronzong, Zam can revenge it. I don't know. Nothing's really popping out to me. This just looks really even. Like, I don't think I'm going to give your side of the matchup here. I'm not really seeing much that really stands out. I think it's just two good, solid, well-composed teams that can check each other. Now let's get into the game. So Heatran lead into Zong. Okay. Fire Blast, is it heat-proof? It probably is heat-proof. Oh, the burn. God, we are seeing so many Fire Blast burns today. What is going on? Earthquake does nothing. I mean, chuck it anyway, but... Is that like the third fucking Fire Blast burn we've seen this stream? I think it's the third Fire Blast burn we've seen on the stream. HP Ground Zapdos gonna do a ton. Heatran's gonna survive and get up rocks though. In comes Cress. Zapdos gonna T-Bolt, only doing 19 to Spadef Cress. You have a Toxic here though. But Zapdos is gonna get paralyzed by T-Wave. It's like you're only doing 23, obviously, like, I mean, it's Cress is not gonna do much damage. Anyway, switch out to Raikou on the presumed Thunderbolt. Double into Bronzong, but Raikou obviously set up on this because it's burned and Earthquake's not gonna do much. Heatran's gonna come in though as Rocks are gonna go. Very good play from Friedel. They're getting the Heatran back in, and that's gonna take out Bronzong. That's gonna open up Flygon in the back eventually. Prime's gonna knock out Heatran of U-turn, obviously, but this Flygon is very scary now. In comes Rhyperior. What's gonna be the Blastoise? Yeah, makes sense. So I think Blastoise can just spin here, or it's just gonna surf. That works too. Nasty Pop from Celebi. Also, Blastoise is good quick. Toxic. Okay, so Celebi cannot stay in forever now. In comes Crest. It's going to take a lot from whatever Grass. Yeah, +2 Leaf Storm's going to annihilate that Crest. I mean, it was only at 48, but still. Honchkrow comes in. Okay, is it Scarf Pursuit? It's probably Scarf Pursuit. But Celebi's going to stay in. Okay, clicking Hidden Power and doing... Wait, that only did... What the hell Hidden Power is? Hidden Power to hit the Honchkrow. So it's Ice, Electric, or Rock. I'm going to assume it's Ice just to hit the Flygon in case it comes up. So HPS at plus HPS not going to knock out the Honchkrow, and Pursuit is going to eliminate the Celebi. Again, this Flygon looking insanely strong in the end game. Prime 6 to take another kill if you turn over Honchkrow. Zapdos comes in. Friedel is going to presumably bring out Raikou. Yeah, Raikou comes in here. Go start Calm Mind as Zapdos presumably is going to attempt to... No, it's just going to Hidden Power Ground, okay. Thunderbolt doing 71. That's a strong Raikou right there. Primeape comes in, but does Primeape kill from 70? I guess he doesn't want to risk it, so we're going to see an Earthquake come out, do 22 to Blastoise. Goldmason's last Pokemon is going to have to come back here. In comes Absol. I don't think it's going to do it. It does catch a Toxic, though, so that means Surf isn't going to do too much. What was he? Nice, actually, very nice. I'm curious. What was he trying to catch with that Toxic? The Pokemon in the back can be Tentacruel or Alakazam or Absol. And you don't really... Toxic isn't great into any of them. I feel like you just Surf there, right? Like, you're in on Primeape. Why would you Toxic? You just Surf and hit for damage. Toxic doesn't do much. It's not going to stay in. Surf knocks out Rhyperior. If it's a Tentacruel in the back, Toxic doesn't hit. If it's Alakazam back in the back, that's the worst possible case scenario because you just got your own Blastoise poisoned. If it's Absol, like, Surf will do, like, half. I don't understand the Toxic there. Anyway, Signal Beam fucking Blastoise. I didn't even realize the thing got Signal Beam. That's the Celebi tech, obviously, but didn't know I got that. In comes Flygon. Nice should come out. No crit. 72. Primeape comes in, but sure we Flygon Scarf, right? Yeah, Earthquake. Feel like you had to go Rhyperior first. Rhyperior probably was a Scarf hit. Yeah, I feel like you had to go Rhyperior first there, and then save the Primeape and pray Primeape could somehow clean the endgame, which I don't think it can, but you have to try. Yeah, I don't think you sack Primeape there. It's a Flygon in the 6th slot. So 6th slot Flygon is almost always Scarf. So yeah, I mean, I don't really get the Toxic play with the Blastoise. Better than that, I think played pretty well by both sides. Obviously, that burn on Bronzong was huge. Kept Heatran healthy for a little longer. Made it Raikou in a better position. HP ground by Zapdos makes a lot of sense. Raikou is very scary. This was a really good game. I enjoyed this one a lot. I will say I don't agree with the going Primeape first play. It's a 6th slot Flygon. It's always Scarf. You have to go Rhyperior with the Earthquake. and try and do something. Like, it's not going to be great, but you have to try and do something, right? I think. I don't know. I mean, again, they can always go Blastoise, right? How much was Blastoise at? Wait, no, Blastoise was at 46. Like, that might be in range if you're in a more offensive type here. I don't know. I don't know the stats, so. Well, I know it's Scarflagon, but yeah. Frito's going to win. I feel like that moves him up to 3-0, I believe. Or her. I don't remember Frito's gender. Pronouns. Yep, let's go game 8. What is going on here? Oh, just that. Okay. All right, on to game number 8. We have Gold Mason again looking to bounce back from that loss versus Colby 2D. I believe Colby is already 0-2 at this point, if I remember correctly. Anyway, but Colby has a very fat team. He has Metagross, 5 fat things, and like 2 Pokemon that aren't coming. However, the team's really damn slow because like Alakazam, my god. Like, Alakazam can run Modest, like, Life Orb, but, like, what the fuck does Colby do? Like, you switch into Metagross and, like, you catch a Hitting Power. But, like, Metagross is kind of rough into Zapdos, especially into Bronzong. I also said the Clef is a little annoying, but Primeape is pretty solid here, too. We can just spam, like, U-turn close combat pretty easily. Yeah, and Celebi also looks very, very good here. Celebi looks crazy, actually. Like, Nasty Plot, Celebi, what the fuck does Colby do? Nothing. The only thing that even speed ties is Tentacruel, and, like, that does not really want to risk a Psychic. Yeah, I think this matchup is heavily in Gold Mason's favor for sure. And drafting 2 1-pointers that are literally useless is not great. It means where we would know what 6 are coming. Gold Mason leads Zapdos into Colby's Roserade. See the Sleep Powder come off. That's gonna be faster, so that might be Scarf, or it should be nope, it's just a slower Zapdos. Okay, so it's gonna Toxic Spike, but technically just spin here, yeah. Crest comes in, okay. Absol is the switch. Crest just a Calm Mind though, but this should do a ton of damage to it. Night Slash getting off a Queen 65. Crest got Ice Beam. That's not it. Yeah, don't. Oh shit. Well, I was gonna say it's not gonna do that much, but he's gonna freeze. Never mind. Absol's just gonna fall out. Fair enough. So yeah, Crest can go down here. It's a big defensive beast going on, right? We've stormed into Tentacruel. Only just 56. Tentacruel's quite fat on special side, of course. Hippo comes in. Let's Tentacruel quick. Tentacruel's a quick Ice Beam, doing a 57. That's a very offensive Tentacruel. So that means it was like naturally just taking away 50 for a Leaf Storm. That's kind of wild. Roseray Leaf Storms are not easy to switch into. Anyway, Surf doing 45 to Metagross. That's a ton of damage on Metagross here. Switching out to Zapdos, which is just sleep. Can Metagross take advantage of that? I don't know. It depends on its set, obviously. Is going to get the Mash boost, so that's something at least. Go Mash again, hoping for a second boost. This is a very fast Metagross too, by the way, if it's faster than Zapdos. Almost it's like Scarf, but... Third Mash, is Zapdos going to stay asleep? It is. I mean, sleep can last up to 4 turns this generation, so free turn sleep not that crazy. Go miss the Mash. Zapdos is going to wake up here and quick Heat Wave and knock out the Metagross. I mean, to be fair, he got, like, I think that's fair. He missed it and got the boost. Opposing Tentacruel comes in, Hydro Pump knocks out the Zapdos, okay? Gold Mason is still a very dominant position here, though. In comes Primeape. Oh, it's Scarf Tentacruel, presumably, because, like, Primeape is, like, 99% of the time Scarf in this generation. We see Roserade come out. In comes Tentacruel. On the Leaf Storm, just sacking it. Hey, Absol's going to come and get put to sleep. This Roserade's actually doing a lot of work here. It's gonna quick Toxic Spike. It's gonna pursue, but he's gonna get poison pointed. Oh damn! Leaf Storm's gonna knock it out even at -2. But Roserade's very well here. In comes Primeape. He's gonna get poison, basically like U-turn, of course. So poison won't actually do anything here. Celebi comes in. Kobe's gonna be forced to reveal his last Pokemon. It's Clefable. Leaf Storm doing. Oh wow, that did nothing. Spinef Clef gonna easily eat that up. Ice Beam doing a good chunk of 33 there. We do see rocks go up as Soft Boil comes off. Thunder Wave into the Clef. I mean, it doesn't really do anything, but fair enough. I guess you lower its speed. I don't think that matters unless your last Pokemon somehow slower than Clef. We've started doing 16. I mean, this Clef's looking pretty strong in the end game here. Clef plus Hippo, but I wonder if the rocks put Hippo into a key orange of close combat. That may be why he did that. It's probably why he did that. Close combat, get a knockout Clef, and then I think the last 2 Pokemon probably can take out Hippo most likely. But Hippo's just gonna slack off here, obviously, right? It's gonna live. Wow. He's not going to slack off, though. You had to go for the slack off there. Like, you had to try it, right? Rhyperior's last Pokemon hit should win. Yeah, Earthquake. I feel like you had to slack off. You had to at least try for it, right? Like, hope that you live, and he did live. I don't know. Roserade doing a ton of pressure against Sleep Powder, Leaf Storm, Toxapex, very, very effective. But Gold just kind of kept on the pressure the whole game. Very well done. So it's a win for Gold Mason there. Okay, on to our next game. Second to last game of the stream. We have Jam versus Sir Normington 15. So first thing I'm listening is Jam's team really does not like Drapion. I mean, double Ghost and Azelf. Like, Drapion kind of is a huge freaking problem here. He is, like, there are ways to do it. Like, Lucario comes out relatively easily outside Earthquake. And, like, you do kind of force a ton of damage and stuff. Not great Lucario switching to your outside, maybe Celebi. But also, like, Heatran's a fucking problem. Your fire resist is a fucking Bibarel. Like, what do you do about Heatran? I get that Jam's team is hyper offensive. Like, obviously, it's hyper offensive with Skarm to Spike Stack. But, like, I don't know. I think, like, you just bring, like, fucking Scarf Drapion here and, like, kill 4 of them. The one thing you have to watch out for is Lucario. Lucario is very good here, of course. Lucario is very, very good here. And Gallade's not bad either, I will say. Jam's team is really weird. Yeah, I don't get it. Gallade is, like, solid. I think the fighting types are what Jam's going to need to win this game, but the rest of his Pokemon look really bad here. So, I know. I think this is going to be a bit of a tough one. I don't think it's unwinnable for Jam. I think it's going to be pretty hard. Jam on the left, Normington on the right. Skarm lead into Frostlass. Frost is going to taunt on turn 1. Skarm's going to Brave Bird. Okay, Gale 50 Brave. This is going to be a 2 KO. Ice Beam comes out, just 36. Second Brave Bird is going to knock out the Frostlass. But no hazards for Jam. Webster's going to come in, knock out the Skarmory. Gallade comes into here. Celebi's a switch. Close Combat doing only 21. That's a Fizdef Celebi if I've ever seen one. Switching out to Mismagius as Celebi's going to Psychic for 40. That's not bad damage at all. Heatran comes in as Mismagius to Shadow Ball, do negligible damage. Does have the HP ground. Maybe not. Maybe he's got it for Shucka. Maze Guy for Scarf. Anyway, Flamethrower onto the Gallade to 62. Wow, that's a lot of damage. That's like an offensive Heatran. Trick Scarf onto the Crest, so it was Scarf Gallade. Celebi's gonna, Azelf's going to come and take not much from Psychic, of course. Donphan's the switch, as Azelf's going to sub. Okay, so he's a subset. Maybe sub Nasty Plot. He's sub Nasty Plot. Is Donphan's packing Assurance makes sense in this matchup. But Psychic, yeah, Psychic's definitely a KO from there. It is Life Orb as well. This reveals Scarf Heatran if he's bringing it in here. Yep. And Azelf's going to go down. Crit very much did not matter. Out to Gengar's, the Drapion's going to come out. Focus Blast. Only take 45 from Life Orb. This Gengar's going to boom. So Drapion will go down. Me opens up Mismagius. Good. Paralyze the Heatran. That's very good. It's Scarf Bundle with Mismag. Interesting. I get it. In comes Gallade. Get close combat here. Knock out the Heatran. It's at -1 though. Can't Electro or Celebi. You can come in yet. Celebi. Scarf Psychic. What's Jam's last Pokemon? Is Lucario. So he's going to Scarf Psychic do 54. Lucario's going to Swords Dance, but I don't think he speed KOs from 91, right? Even with, yeah, no way. Even with the Life Orb, yeah, Celebi's too fat. And that's going to be a win for Normington. I mean, I think Jam played this pretty damn well. It's just like his team didn't allow him to do much. Like, he was on point with his plays and predictions, just like didn't really matter. Like, Normington didn't even have to do much. He just brought like basic prep and just won the game because Jam's team had such fundamental flaws, which is unfortunate. But I mean, he played well. Like, I can't say that Jam did not play and prep this game well because I'd be lying. But like, it's just his draft had such fundamental flaws it didn't really matter. Also, triple Life Orb is always funny. Wait, was Life Orb missed? Oh, wait, Life Orb getting it, yeah. I do not remember if Jam's a replacement. I'm really not sure. I genuinely could not tell you. I don't remember. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. We had like 10, 12 replacements total. I don't remember who all was replacements. Yeah, playing draft skill doesn't match. Playing draft is, I guess. Yeah, it was a very lame team. For our last game of the stream, we have one of my mods, Hades of Ender, versus Potato Z, or Zai as he goes by now. So let's look at this matchup. Let's see. Well, Weavile looks very good here. I'm looking at, like, Lucario is, like, obviously Lucario eventually, like, Bullet Punch, but Weavile looks very good. All you have to do is wear down the Mywell, and you do have Roserade and Zapdos, which are both pretty good at wearing down Mywell. In fact, Roserade looks very strong here. Not much really wants to take it on. Like, Roserade's very, very good here. Obviously, Celebi can switch in on some moves, like, but it does have to feel like Pyapa Psychic or Pyapa Sludge Water is catching a Sludge Water on the switch. T-Tar looks solid as always, but like Suicune, Donphan, Regirock are all decent checks to it. Zapdos looks pretty good, obviously, outside the T-Tar. Like, the T-Tar and Arrow, which are obviously frightening. But I don't know, I think the Donphan defensively is real. This dev Donphan just kind of shits on this team, too, a lot. Like, there's Blastoise, Celebi, that's about it. And you have decent checks about those. Offensive Celebi could be very strong for Zai, though. Like, obviously, the one issue is it gets Pursuit Trapped by Weavile, but you can maybe run Colbur and, like, deal with it that way. If like boosted grass moves, but yeah. I'm going to give Hayes the matchup here. Let's get into it. Hayes on the left, Zai on the right. Regirock leading into Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is going to taunt. Regirock is going to Ice Punch on turn 1 doing 64%. Okay. Rocks go from the Aerodactyl. Regirock is going to take it out. So no rocks on Potato Z's side so far. Milotics can come in, force it out into Roserade. Surf's going to do 22. Heal up some health with Black Sludge, of course. Roser's going to give a spike as Milotic's got Ice Beam. Okay, is Roserade packing Synthesis? Switching out to Celebi's going to take a spike here. Roserade is just going to Grass Knot. It's going to do nothing. Celebi's like light as a feather. It has a really 20 base power. In comes the Zapdos. As Celebi's just a Psychic for 22. Okay, it's a very fat Zapdos. They have very defensive Celebi too. T-Tar has to switch in, but a lot of bad things can happen here. Zapdos is going to Roost though, so none of those bad things are going to happen. Zapdos switching out to Donphan. As T-Tar is going to Stone Edge doing 22. Okay, it's not a ton. Donphan is obviously Fizz Def here. I mean, it was going to be. Into Milotic. I assume Donphan was going to get Rocks. No, it's going to spin away the Rocks. That makes sense. So Rocks are gone from Hades' side. Opens up Zapdos immensely. Suicune is switching on Mywell. Okay. On the Surf, only taking 12%. In comes the Celebi. As Suicune is just going to sub. Okay. Grass Knot comes off there. Signal Beam doing 49 though. Signal doing 49. Obviously, it's going to force out so we can know. Weavile comes in hard. Okay, as Celebi recovers. In comes Milotic. Makes sense. Weavile's just going to Night Slash, getting off 50%. Oh my god, that's banded as shit. Wow, that's very banded Weavile. Another Night Slash will take out the Milotic there. This does look in T-Tar or Lucario comes in, but Hayes has to check, so he's just going to let it take the one punch. It's not. How the fuck? This shit did 50 to Mywell without a ban? Milotic is so bad. Holy shit. It must have been Spidef, but like still. This thing did 50 to Milotic without a ban. That is so sad. On Mywell's part. Anyway, Rock Tomb. HP Ice. Fair enough. Out to Suicune. Glacier get Rock. So double rockers on Zai's side is interesting. I kind of get it though. Surf can knock out the Gliscor from Suicune. And Zai is kind of running out of pieces here. Celebi comes in. Obviously, it's a good check to this, but Grass Knot is going to knock it out. Let's be switching. Presumably Zapdos, if I had to guess. Yeah, Zapdos here. Zapdos is going to be forced to Roost as T-Tar comes in. But we do have like a full health Regirock and almost full health Donphan, so like this T-Tar can't do much. Out into Regirock. Stone Edge is going to miss. That would not have done a ton anyway. Even if it was like Ban, that would not have done that much. There's Stone Edge. Oof. And we're going to see Boom. Doesn't knock out the T-Tar, but it doesn't matter at this point. Donphan comes in. Stone Edge misses the third time. Very funny. It does not matter, but it's very funny. Rapid Spin doesn't even KO because Rapid Spin is really weak in this gen. Ice Shard. Oh my god. 3 Stone Edge misses. I don't think it matters, but it was very funny. And now to Zapdos. And Zapdos should beat this. Or, yeah, it doesn't matter. That's the name of the game. So yeah, good win by Hades. I mean, the Stone Edge misses were funny. I don't think they really changed anything. But yeah, good win by Hades. Very well done. So I'm going to call the stream there. Let's pull up the next one, the stream for next game. So we have the matchup for people to look at real quick. Next time we'll be starting with Andrew Blaze versus Swiggus. So that's it.